A 22-year-old just dropped $7,000 on 3 single surgeries in one day. A woman spent $98,000 on her face. Another one's mouth, just her teeth, cost her more than most people's house down payment, $75,000 for teeth. And somewhere in America, women are being told that $28,000 a month is just quote-unquote basic upkeep. Let's get into it.
Just saw a 22-year-old book an appointment for a BBL, a tummy tuck, and a breast augmentation all at the same time for $7,000.
I'm going to answer the question everyone's asking. How much money did my facial feminization surgery cost? This gorgeous, beautiful face that's still healing a little bit on the bottom cost $98,000. $98,000.
How much I spent for my BBL. So I paid 280,000 pesos for my surgery, which for me converted into $14,205 with 64 cents.
I had Botox twice for a total of $820. For hyperpigmentation, I had Clear and Brilliant. It was $325. I do not recommend for serious brown spots. I also had IPL for $270. My most expensive treatment was Thermage FLX for face and neck. I paid $1,600 in Korea. I think it would have been around $4,000 in the US. Also in Korea, I had Ulthera just along the jawline. I paid $400, would have been about $2,500 here in the US. I also got 3 facials and it totaled $450. Of course, my favorite treatment, microneedling with PRP plus PRP injections, face and neck. I paid $700 for each treatment, which by the way is a phenomenal deal. I also had 2 standard microneedling sessions, $250 total. Scalp treatment and hair glossing in Korea, $400. Add it all up and it is around $5,600. If I were to include my manicures, my hair care, my lash lift, I would be at over $10,000.
How much have I spent on plastic surgery in my lifetime? Well, it started with my first set of implants when I was 18. That was probably $6,000.
$6,000 at 18? First of all, where did you get that money? Second of all, you were 18. You could have given it few more years and it could have grown on its own.
After that, actually I had to spend another $5,000. I had to get them redone.
So you just wasted the previous $6,000 on plastic. And I get mad when they even charge me 6 cents for plastic bag in the supermarket.
And after that, all of my surgeries were paid for by my ex.
Ex? So like bro paid for refurbishing a house for another man to come and live inside it rent-free? Diabolical!
So I do know my mouth was like $75,000 though.
Jesus Christ on a motorbike, but it seems like a free mouth with just too much lipstick on it.
Well, they better look like it too.
They don't. I could get this for free. I just need a bee and steal my grandmother's lipsticks.
Did you say 7,500 or 75,000?
75,000.
You spent 75,000 on your teeth?
Well,
it's like a mortgage payment.
No, lady, that is not like a mortgage payment. You can literally buy a house for that amount in any country.
To be fair, I didn't spend it, but yes, that's what my mouth currently costs.
You need to go and get a refund, or your ex-boyfriend need to get a refund. I don't know.
I have a full mouth of veneers by Dr. Kevin Sands in Beverly Hills. He is incredible.
Kevin Sands is out here incredibly bamboozling podcast ladies and their exes out of house payments. He probably goes on Instagram to show his friends like, this mouth paid for this house and this mouth paid for this house.
And I've had my nose done.
Okay, lady, it might be easier for you to just name what you did not get done.
I get filler and Botox. That's not plastic surgery.
What is it then? Metal surgery?
And then I had my boobs removed in 2019. I paid for that. That was like $12,000.
Wait, she got it done, changed it, then removed it. That is like me fixing my roof, changing it, and then removing my roof. Do I not sound delulu doing that?
I spent over $10,000 on laser hair removal, and let me tell you about my experience. So for those that don't know, I'm a plastic surgery and body enthusiast. I've spent literally thousands and thousands of dollars on surgery, filler, all the high maintenance things that girlies do, right? So I went there, I had my whole face, my whole neck lasered, I had my chest lasered, and I had the full Brazilian. Yes, girl. Like, we are bald. So I think I spent, it was around $12,000 for all of those packages, because like face and neck is one, chest is another, and Brazilian Plus is another. And they're all like $3 to $4 grand. They will say that it's like 50% off, 60% off. I never believe anything that they say over there. Even though I've had a good experience at Milan, they're very salesy. Like, I feel like corporate has them in a chokehold, and they're like, you need to buy 17 packages today. Like, drop 40 grand. Like, who cares if you have a mortgage or kids? Like, you're going to start spending $600 on laser. Like, girl, be for real.
Around 20,000 for the procedure plus hospital plus the accommodation. Hi, my name is Peggy. I am 39 years old and I come from Australia, Brisbane. Yeah, I had arm lift, side lift, and extended tummy tuck and lipo on upper abdomen. Dr. K, I done my first surgery on Thursday, 12, and the second surgery on Friday, 13. Today is Monday, 15. It's 3 days post-op. Around 20,000 for the procedure plus hospital plus accommodation. Everything was included.
And I saw their Instagram, beautiful work, lovely work. I talked to them. I spoke to the nurse on FaceTime. They want $10,000, honey. And that's $10,000 just to start. She said that she would do a little bit of thread lift for me because I have this kind of sagging skin a little bit. So she would pull me back like this and she would give me a little bit of jaw and chin and cheek that I need, which totally fine. I'm down with it. However, $10,000 for temporary fillers.
So that's the range you're working with, from 5-figure small procedures to women who've spent 6 figures just chasing small incremental tweaks over the years. Notice how fast the little extras add up. Facials, microneedling, scalp treatments, laser. It's never really just one surgery. Teeth may be the most surprising category here. We're not talking about surgery recovery or anesthesia risk. We're talking about cosmetic dental work running into the tens of thousands, sometimes replacing teeth that were already healthy. And because veneers don't last forever, that's a bill that can repeat every 15 to 20 years. What's interesting here is the price gap depending on where you go and who you go to. Some women paid under $5,000 overseas. Others paid 3 times that for a revision in the US. A second nose job, a quote-unquote fix on the first one, usually costs more than the original. For the most part, these aren't one-and-done costs, they're recurring ones. And recurring costs are the ones that quietly drain a bank account over a decade. And this is the part that probably hits closest to home for a lot of people watching. This isn't surgery talk anymore. This is nails, lashes, hair, all stacked together as if they're non-negotiable monthly bills. Let's watch a few more.
This is how I spent $87,000 on plastic surgery. I'm going to have this number breakdown. Each individual surgery I spent. You want to stick around to the end to the most expensive surgery I spent on. So for nose job, I spent $22,000 because I have 3 different nose jobs. This is how I look before all my nose jobs. So this is my first nose job. I got it done in Korea. I spent $4,500. And the second nose job, I spent $12,000 in New York City, but that doesn't make a big difference because it's more like function. And this is my third nose job. I spent $5,500 in Turkey. For hair transplant, I spent $16,800 on 3 different hair transplants. So I got my first hair transplant in New York City for $12,000, but it doesn't make a big difference. So the second time and third time, I got it done in Turkey for $2,400 each. I went from this to this. And I spent around $3,000 on lip filler and for $5,000 for jaw filler. And I spent $3,500 for eyebrow transplant.
First rhinoplasty in Korea was around $5,000, and then my revision rhinoplasty in LA was around $15,000, but it does vary by patient, so you should definitely get a consultation. The doctor that I picked has a big social media presence, so I was able to find some of his patients and just message them and ask them what their experience was and how much they paid. They all had amazing things to say, and they all quoted me between $12,000 to like $17,000, so I did have an idea. So if you can do that, you should definitely try it. Keep in mind, revision rhinoplasties are more complicated, so they tend to be more expensive.
How much would you say that you have spent on surgeries?
I would have, this is impossible to add up, but everything is huge amount. It's definitely like a house or something, for sure.
Surgeries and Botox and fillers and
yeah, and teeth easily 30,000 just for the last round of teeth. So it's got to be just, or in the 100,000 range or something.
Have you ever heard the term, you're not ugly, you're just poor? Allow me to show you why that's true. Well, let's talk about some of the things that I've done, the overall cost of what this would be. I've lost 115 pounds. I had plastic surgery, which ended up costing me about $30K because I did all my surgeries at once. So anesthesia room fees and operating room fees were all included. To lose the last 30 pounds that I lost and to titrate off of that, Manjaro, or the active ingredient, cost about $800 a month. I do 1 syringe of lip filler yearly. I do full face toxin about every 4 months. I do PRF facial injections, and I do the Easy Gel twice a year. Radiofrequency microneedling to tighten my skin, to improve my overall texture, to help with my scarring. I do 3 times a year. Medical grade skincare, I don't use everything you can possibly buy, but I do have my favorites. That ends up costing about $500 a year.
So I've been getting a lot of questions about how much my nose job was. And I hesitated to post this because plastic surgery for a lot of people is a luxury. But I do think it's really important to do your research before you get your nose done and to have an idea and expectation of what it would realistically will cost. So my nose job itself was $14,000, and it was a cosmetic nose job, so it wasn't to fix my breathing.
We'd rather be over the top in plastic than be like these basic
You may think that we're addicted, but the truth is,
you're just basic.
Exactly. I at least spent $100,000 on plastic surgery.
I've spent about $75K.
I'd probably say I'd probably spent like maybe $400,000 at this point.
Do you think people want to look like you?
Oh. So it's been almost a year since I've gotten my breast augmentation. It's about 10-ish months. And I'm still getting questions on those videos asking how much I paid. And I know for a fact that I did say it in previous videos, but I don't know exactly which one. So I'm not gatekeeping the price. I just know I've said it before. It was just over $11,000 for me. It was like 11,000 some change, like 11,300, something like that.
I knew it was trendy to get lip filler, but I had no idea how much it cost. Holy crap, how are you guys affording this? Are we living in the same America, the same economy? Clearly not. Oh my goodness. $500? Have y'all ever heard of overlining your lips? Have y'all ever heard of plumping gloss? What the heck?
Tea time. Did you see how much this woman paid for her lip fillers? This is Shannon, and the other day she showed the results of getting lip fillers. This is her before, and this is after. When you look at the side by side, you can see a subtle difference, but it looks good. But when she said how much she paid, I was like, dang! Shannon said she paid $692 for a syringe. Is that a normal price for a beauty enhancement? Oh my God. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not really a girly girl. I don't have any beauty rituals. I'll be honest, being neurodivergent isn't easy, so I can't focus on beauty. I've been focusing on survival. So it made me wonder, if she's willing to pay $692 for this beauty enhancement, how much are women paying for all of their beauty enhancements? I did some research and I found out that women are paying $120 a month for their set of nails, $120 a month for a hairstyle. If they're on Ozempic, they're paying $935 a month. If you want a BBL, that's $6,500. And women who are getting Botox are paying $300 every time. Wow, y'all some rich girls.
Jojo Siwa just admitted to spending $50,000 on cosmetic dentistry for her teeth. And while the amount that she spent on her teeth doesn't really surprise me, the reason why she did it kind of does. So before getting her veneers done, Jojo actually had a very beautiful set of natural teeth. The shape and the color are gorgeous. She had just a little bit of crowding on the lower and a bite discrepancy on her left side. She may have also had Invisalign done as well. You can sort of see the engagers on those teeth. Last year, Jojo opened up and said that she got veneers done on her teeth because she was a little bit insecure about her smile. Here is a picture from more recent times. It looks like she's had a veneer or crown on every single tooth, top and bottom. This is considered a full mouth rehab. While I will admit that this is a gorgeous aesthetic outcome, having veneers on every single tooth at the age of 18 or 19 years old, in my opinion, is a bit excessive. Veneers are thin porcelain shells that are cemented on top of the tooth, usually to improve aesthetic outcomes. They typically have a lifespan of 15 to 20 years, and if you take really good care of them, maybe about 25 years. Which means that it's really likely that JoJo will have to have her veneers replaced 2 to 3 times in her lifetime. If I was treating JoJo, I would do a combination of orthodontics and maybe some teeth whitening because she really did have a beautiful characteristic of her teeth.
She fucking pulled it out.
How much do you think it costs to upkeep a woman? Or a woman to upkeep herself?
Like monthly? Weekly?
Yeah, monthly. Yeah, no, monthly.
What kind of woman? There's a lot of women, there's a lot of states, a lot of different in a lot of places. But if you're just a regular woman,
so in LA, to get your nails done is $200, and you need to get them done twice a month. So that's $400 right there. Then there's eyelashes, another $200 twice a month. That's another $400 right there. So you're already at $800 a month for just your nails and your lashes. Hair could cost, like, if you get your hair done like regularly, hold on a second, that's another $2,000 a month. So that's $2,800 a month. That's hair, nails,
nigga, what the fuck?
And eyelashes.
And we talk about the cost of maintaining your beauty: hair, nails, waxing, lashes, skincare treatments, Pilates, or maybe hot yoga. I mean, you're in some sort of workout classes that you're paying for. Clothes, shoes, bags, everything society expects you to keep up with, especially if you're an attractive woman. There is this pressure to maintain yourself at all times. You get no off days because beautiful women are often treated like an experience. God forbid someone catches you slipping.
There's no surgical technique, no level of expertise, no celebrity clientele that justifies $300,000 for a single facelift procedure. That number is a celebrity tax. It is a concierge medicine premium stacked on top of a legitimate surgical fee stacked on top of a brand marketing. And, you know, all to Dr. Levine for being able to charge that and having people that will pay for it. But it just seems a little bit ridiculous to me.
Seeing this huge increase in what women are spending on beauty, yet wages are increasing at about 4%.
Just read an article that said in America alone, we will have spent $26 billion on plastic surgery this year. If people would just grow old gracefully, like yours truly, we could end hunger. Like, there's just, it boggled my mind that we are in such a poor country where people are struggling to put food on their table every day. And $26 billion was spent on beautification. Listen, I have nothing against plastic surgery. If you want to go get it, that's completely on you, and I'm support it. I'm fine with it. But when there's such a need in our country, I just feel like dollars could be better spent. Are you with me? I mean, do you agree with me?
Let's actually unpack what we just sat through, because there's a wide range of money involved here, and lumping it all together isn't fair. First, surgery. Real invasive anesthesia-involved surgeries, BBLs, tummy tucks, breast augmentation, rhinoplasty, facelifts. These prices range from around $7,000 on the low end to numbers that sound made up, like $300,000 for a single facelift. And here's one thing one of the people in these clips pointed out: that high number isn't really about surgical skill. It's about brand. It's about a surgeon's name being attached to a wealthy clientele, plus a marketing machine, plus what's basically a concierge tax stacked on top of the actual medical cost. So when you see widely different prices for what is technically the same surgery, a lot of that gap isn't medical, it's reputation and exclusivity. Second, dental work. This one surprised a lot of people, and it should. We watched a woman casually mention her mouth cost $75,000, and another getting a full set of veneers as a teenager despite already having straight, healthy teeth. A dentist in that clip made an important point. Veneers aren't permanent. They last maybe 15 to 20 years if you take great care of them. So a one-time cosmetic choice can actually turn into a bill you pay 2 to 3 times over a lifetime. Third, and this is the category that adds up the fastest without anyone noticing: recurring beauty maintenance. Lip filler that needs to be redone every year because it dissolves. Botox every 3 to 4 months because it wears off. Laser hair removal packages sold in bundles of deals that, by one woman's own admission, are incredibly upsell heavy. She flat out said it felt like staff were being pressured by corporate to push more packages regardless of whether someone could actually afford it. And then there's the everyday stuff: nails, lashes, hair, which some of these women priced out at nearly $3,000 a month, combined, every month. That's not a procedure. That's a lifestyle cost, and it's the one most people can actually relate to because it doesn't require a consultation with a surgeon. It just requires showing up to the same salon every 2 weeks. Now here's where it gets genuinely interesting because two very different mindsets show up in this footage. On one side, you had women treating this spending as basically mandatory, framing it as something attractive women have to keep up with, almost like a job requirement. On the other side, you had someone directly pushing back, pointing out that no one is actually required to get their nails and lashes done every 2 weeks, and that calling it a baseline necessity while complaining about the cost of living is a contradiction worth sitting with. And honestly, both things can be true at once. There absolutely is social pressure, especially in certain industries, certain cities, certain online spaces, to maintain a polished, done appearance constantly. That pressure is real, and it's not something people are imagining. But there's also a difference between feeling pressure and treating every single beauty service as unavoidable. Press-on nails exist, DIY lash routines exist, whitening strips exist. The all-or-nothing framing, get everything done on a strict schedule or you've let yourself go, is largely manufactured by the industry itself, the same industry that, as we had, leans hard into upselling. So where does that leave the actual numbers? If you zoom out, the spending we covered breaks into 3 honest categories: medically elective surgeries, the biggest, scariest looking numbers; cosmetic dental work, less talked about, surprisingly expensive and recurring; and routine upkeep, smaller individually, but the one that compounds fastest because it never stops. None of this is here to shame anyone for getting work done. Multiple people in this clip said plainly, if you want it, that's your choice, and that's fair. But there is value in seeing the real math laid out instead of one barrel number at a time. When you watch this in isolation, 7,000 here, 10,000 there, it doesn't feel real. When you stack them, you start to understand why someone casually says they spent $400,000 over a lifetime, or why a country can collectively spend $26 billion a year on procedures that by definition nobody medically needs. The real takeaway isn't beauty spending is bad, it's that almost none of this is actually one time. Filler fades, veneers wear out, hair transplants sometimes need touch-ups, even surgery has revision costs. The cost of being pretty, at least the version shown here, isn't a single price tag, it's a subscription with no end date.
I really think a lot of people are confused on what beauty services are a luxury versus what's a necessity. I just saw this TikTok, and I'm not going to stitch it because the girl was not having a good time and I don't want to pile onto that. But basically she was saying that Miami is super expensive, especially because of how much more beauty services cost. She was saying like you got to get your nails done, hair done, lashes, wax, all this stuff adds up. Lashes can be $200. And I struggle to figure out like where in the timeline of life we figured out that in your 20s you need nails and feet, hair, lashes, waxes, all done on a schedule every 2 weeks. I'm not trying to be rude, but like, who do you think you are? Like, you're not Big Lotto. You don't need everything done that much. And then people will talk about how the cost of living is so expensive, and it is, but you're spending like $1,000 on beauty maintenance a month. One thing about me, my hair will stay done, but everything else is really a nice to have. I've been wearing press-on nails for over 4 years now, and people have always thought that I get my nails done. I have done the DIY lashes, but I have never paid no $200 to get my lashes done. Because how would I save money?
If you made it this far, I appreciate you watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. Also let me know, were you surprised by these numbers? Creators' handles are in the description box below, so go give them some support. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.